Hello, everybody, and welcome to part three of the mail call for January of 2018 in February, and a big month all the way around. Um, let's see, let's get to part three. Why do people care on YouTube so much about e-begging? I never knew there was a gang of people who were so invested 24/7 into interjecting themselves into other people's blank business. What skin is it off their nose? I mean, that's always a question that I've sort of asked myself. I'm a firm believer that everybody should work for a living and be productive and add to society and don't be a drain on society. In a lot of ways, when you're accepting donations for your upkeep, you're not adding any productivity or any meaningful uh, advancement to the economy. So I can sort of see the point of why e-begging is such a frowned upon activity. I've noticed that people make up. I've noticed people make up things all the time on YouTube. Have you noticed that? Well, only really recently with this. It's somebody will put something out on the side, or somebody will be on a panel because they heard something from somebody else, and it gets repeated and people believe it. Always come to the source and ask the source directly. It really pays off. How do you have such a thick skin? Well, I don't know. I think maybe if you're trans and your life is already out there, it certainly gives you a measure of a thick skin that other people may not have. Plus, I know in my heart what's real and what's not. And that's the thing that really guides me. And when do things, I do things to try to help people and move people along to a better place. I don't always succeed. I often fail mightily, but I own my failures too. So that allows me to have a thick skin too. Let's see. You mentioned lawyers. Have you? I'm trying to. This guy's wordings. You mentioned lawyers. Have you had to work with YouTube because of threats before? Do you have a connection at YouTube? I'm not going to mention whether I have a connection at YouTube before, but I will say yes, I have worked with lawyers, and people remember that in the past, especially 2015 and 2016, and it worked out very well for me at that time. So I don't hesitate to use the tools at my disposal if I have to. You know, I've got Missy Jen to think about here too, and our futures and other people. And sometimes things go a bit too far, and it's nice to have that legal recourse open. And I'll tell you, the legal department at Google and YouTube is very active. It's very interactive too. People say you never really hear too much from YouTube when you write to them, but the legal department is a place where results are really forthcoming, and they do take time to investigate things. But that was years ago. So yeah. Let's see. The ANON paper on your car was total BS. You even refused to take a lie detector test. Can you imagine that? I'm going to take my own money. I'm going to hire an independent polygraph person to come in and administer a lie detector test. I mean, it's the funniest thing in the world. We'd have to spread that test around a little bit of YouTube, wouldn't we, for that kind of test for the stuff that people make up. Are you on high hormones? Your body really changed a lot over the last year. Much more femme shape. Do you work out? I tried to work out a lot. I tried to use weights, and I also tried to use the exercise ball when I can, and try to watch my diet too. I think that's a very important thing. That not to gain too much weight, because when you're older, your skin doesn't have the elasticity that it does when you're younger. So even if you lose weight, you tend to be a little more baggy looking. So I try to be careful about it. Do you think Lacey, Rocks, and Anon are real? I don't really. You know, who knows? Lacey, Rocks, Anon, Becca. They've come in, they've run their program, and all we can do is watch. I don't think we'll ever know whether they're truly real or whether the lives they live are real. We'll never know. Let's see. Who did your breasts? They're beautiful and no scars. The butt looks amazing too. Thank you. Dr. Chernoff here in Santa Rosa redid my breasts for me, brought them very much in center, a much nicer look. Could not be more happy with them. I'm very excited about the job that he did, and of course, the butt lift was done, well, early on in 2017, but I was very thrilled with the results of that too. Sometimes it takes a couple cracks to get it right. So that's about it for the mail call part 3 here. I'm sure February will be a very interesting month. We will be getting on the road, and I'm very excited about that. Seeing and meeting people and putting it all up on YouTube. Thanks so much, everyone.